The tree of liberty has been thirsty for too long. I am the spark, the powder, the match, the shot that rang, the line in the patch. I am the night they tossed the tea, the oath they swore to die free. You can chain my hands, you can break my bones, but you'll never own my soul. I am the fire in the midnight sky, the reason tyrants die. I am 1776, lightning, thunder, iron, and grit. Every musket, every fist. I am 1776. Oh, 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 oh. I am 1776. I am the flag they tried to burn, the shot that made the empire turn. I am the rebel, the Minuteman, the ink that wrote we can. We hold these truths, hear my boots on the cobblestone, hear my war cry, shake the throne, hear my drum, you know it's near, your reign of fear ends here. I am 1776, lightning, thunder, iron, and grit, every musket, every fist. I am 1776. Oh, 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 oh. I am 1776.
Hello, good morning. It's Monday. I don't know how many of you have a hangover from the Super Bowl, but probably a few, I would imagine. Let's see. Morning, everybody. Let's see. We got quite a few people in the chat already. Yay. So,
I am 1776.
yeah. We're going to start out with a prayer. That way I'll entertain you until George.
Everybody can see the background.
He's singing in the background. Yeah, everybody got to see the background.
That's what I'm saying.
T.S. Money says she's not hungover. I think you'd be quite. I wonder about Mark. Mark, are you hungover? He probably won't answer me. Denise says she's not hungover either. Yeah, probably quite a few are though. That's what I would say. So I'm gonna open up with a prayer, and this is a good one. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy, for you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. And that's James 1:2-3. So I think that kind of goes like with the left about how they test us all the time because they're just awful people. That's what I have to say.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, they are. They are stupid people. We got a really super good example of it too, about how awful they are. Look at this.
Anyway, yeah.
I'll read it out. It says, outrage is erupting after it was revealed that Waukegan High School teachers and staff in Chicago, Illinois, organized a school walkout displaying a crucified effigy of President Trump, prompting mass calls to fire all involved. I mean, they're just...
And the amount of kids that went out of school didn't have parents' permission, at all. So there's a big thing happening with that. I think the Board of the Education uh, of the education happening is unbelievable. So that's that's terrible. So you can put
It's horrible. But do what?
no, you can put the other thing up. Yeah, you can put the one about Bad Bunny Boo Boo.
Yeah, I filmed Bad Bunny at the halftime so you guys wouldn't have to watch it. So now you get to watch it now.
Chacarón, 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 chacarón.
Well,
I don't know who did that, but I thought it was funny because we didn't watch the halftime show. That it's just bullshit. TPUSA halftime was great though. Well, let's put up. Do you want me to read? Do you want me to read it, or do you want to read it?
no, you can read it. You
Okay.
read better than I do. I just
Okay.
I suck at reading because then I get pissed off when I read.
Okay, I'll read this for you guys. So this is a Trump truth. Sorry, Mark, we're doing one today. The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. It makes no sense. It is an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. This show is just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting new standards and records every single day, including the best stock market and 401ks in history. There is nothing inspirational about this mess of a halftime show, and watch, it will get great reviews from the fake news media because they haven't got a clue of what is going on in the real world. And by the way, the NFL should immediately replace the ridiculous new kickoff rule. Make America great again, President Donald J. Trump. So I think, huh?
Amen to that. And we have this video. We see if everybody would like this one.
The Godfather and Donald Trump rocks.
Mega rocks! Mega rocks! Mega rocks! Mega rocks!
We're born to ride for 45, and Donald Trump rocks.
Yes, he does. That's pretty cool. I like that. Yeah, Mark was saying it was the big FU to America and MAGA. Yeah. I didn't see it. All I saw was people complaining about it.
18 million. Let's do this. Ready? According to records from one of my guys, Steve, he said 18 million viewers. 18 million viewed the All-American halftime show, and only 2.2 million viewed Dickhead. I mean, what's his name? The jerk off from the skirt.
Well,
Super Bowl had 127 million. Turning Point had 18 million. So the Big Bunny had only 2.2. The original when the Super Bowl opened up was 127 million people watching it. Then when it came halftime, only 2.2 million people watched Bad Bunny, and at the halftime of America's halftime, Turning Point USA was 18 million. So a lot of people followed through what they were going to do, which was pretty cool.
I'm glad because I think I mean, the guy can't even speak English. I don't understand why they thought that was such a good idea.
Yeah, he's based on. I know he can't even speak, but this is just a slap in the face with Goodell and what's his name? Who did the production of it? That
Jay-Z.
Jay-Z. He hates America too, and he's a big one with the what do you call the Illuminati. I just wanted to say a statement I wrote this morning on Facebook. I said, how much are we going to take? Skiers who bash America are on the Olympic team. Singer who bash America gets Super Bowl halftime slot. Immigrants who came to America for refuge get elected to Congress and bash America Teachers take student out to protest no ice without permission from the parents. The Democrats use the Jim Crow screaming all the time, which was one of the ones that they have created because the Democrats were all with that KKK shit, and it just doesn't stop. So these are the things that pissing off a lot of people about how much we're going to take. And I don't think they even canceled the flyover. I mean, they had a flyover with the B-2 bomber there and everything else, the sleep bomber. They had that in a couple, but the F-16, the F-18 Hornets were supposed to go.
The F-22s.
F-20, sorry.
Right.
F-22s were supposed to go over there, but they canceled it.
Yeah.
I mean, and we were talking a lot last week about all the shit with the kidnapping, and we brought a lot up about the attention about the that it was strange that after the Epstein files happened, that all of a sudden this lady disappeared. So what we did is we got this.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
You missed the rock and roll about Trump rocks.
Which one?
No, we did one, but for some reason, the chat's coming up. Oh, there it goes. There we go. It's all registered. It's very slow.
Yeah, I was.
Rumble.
Red said she had a hard time getting in this morning.
Yeah, like a lot of people.
Did
Anyway.
you, Sean?
I'm actually getting in the Rumble now, but I'm in there. I'm in there. Yeah. So,
Yeah, it's going on and off the screen.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope everybody. But the NFL. If you remember the NFL, when the Black Lives Matter, they put on both sides of the foot at the stadiums and stuff. Goodell allowed that, and he allowed the people to wear Black Lives Matter on their helmets and on their shoes. When it came that time to put the police officers that got killed and stuff like that, he refused them to do that. They were going to get fined. So it shows you where that piece of shit's mentality is, which is excuse me, terrible. So
Who was the one that refused to have them do that? You said
Goodell told every NFL that they couldn't put up anything about. Remember when they had the socks on, the NFL players had the socks on about the police officers, the names and everything else, supporting the blue.
Oh yeah, Goodell's he's I
piece of shit. That's the
I don't have many good things to say about Roger Goodell. I don't think, matter of fact, I think a lot of people don't really have many things to say about.
Yeah, but the whole thing is now all the NFL owners, right? All the owners, they should have said something about the halftime shit. They should have protested. I mean, it's America's number one pastime besides baseball. I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting that they did that.
Well, did you see Trump's reaction to the halftime show?
Yeah, we read it before you came on.
Well, no. This is actual live video of him after the halftime show. Pull it up.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence.
Yeah, that was funny. He came out with that statement. I didn't watch the show, so in fairness to the halftime show, I didn't watch it, so I don't know if it was I don't know if it was good. It could have been good. It could have been. I don't know. I have no idea.
You didn't. I see. Before you came on, I showed the video of the halftime show.
Are we talking about Bad Bunny, right?
Yeah. About Bad Bunny. Yeah.
So I didn't see it.
Here, I'll show it again just for you.
Chacarón, 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 chacarón.
There you go. That was just for you then.
But I didn't watch it. Obviously, I watched the Turning Point show, which I thought was good, and I thought was some of the stuff was a little stale, right? In my opinion, that they did, but I thought it was overall good. I thought
8 million people watching it.
What's that?
It came out with numbers that 2.2 million people watched the Bunny, and 18 million watched the American halftime.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the exact numbers that came out, but I thought Turning Point did a good job with, they didn't have a lot of time, right, to prepare, because it kind of went off as like we should try to do this, and obviously I guess Kid Rock helped them tremendously with that, and probably helped them with the cost as well. But they're going to do one next year. It seems like they thought that it was so, they had such a good success with the numbers for them, that they're going to do one next year. So now they have a whole year to plan. That's pretty good. Maybe football will relook at it now, knowing that they have competition with it, and maybe kind of go in the direction that they should.
Yep.
I'm surprised they didn't have Metallica there. Metallica's a Bay Area band. That would have been a American band, but obviously football is looking for growth in the international markets, and I think that's why they did that. Which, I think it's a.
They can put Andrew Bocelli in one in international markets. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah, I'd like to see Bocelli. That's a good one, George. That's a good one. That's a good idea.
Yeah, look,
fantastic idea.
Tom Holman was. Put this up with Tom. I did this will put a smile on people's face.
No, he's doing. It seems like a lot of stuff in Minneapolis has calmed down a little bit, but now they look like they're protesting in front of Waltz's house because he's not being more against Tom Holman, right?
Oh, too funny.
What are you laughing at there?
Because every time I talk about Waltz, all I think of is Elmer Fudd. He just reminds me of Elmer Fudd.
You can't unsee it now after you hear that. You're right.
Yeah, just put the stupid little hunting cap on him and everything. Remember when he went to shoot the gun or something and he didn't know what he was doing?
Oh, he didn't
know how to load it.
Yeah, that's what he pulled his balls off too. He held the rifle upside down.
Yeah, that's what I said, Elmer Fudd. That you can't. Yeah, once you see that, it's like that's it. I wanted to say something just real quick that Florida for Trump became and Greg and Debbie became great grandparents again.
Which was cool.
Really?
Yeah.
They're making grandparenting great again.
Yes.
That's
yes.
awesome.
So congratulations, you guys.
Congratulations, Greg and Debbie. That's awesome.
Oh, you'd be really cute, baby, too. Really cute. Really cute.
We should have the baby on as a guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
If I drop off, I just had a little icon come up about updates were ready on my computer to install, and I'm like, I hit no, but if it does, it would obviously reboot me. So just if I drop off, you know what happens.
Oh, okay. Well, though you're not just flaking out. What what we were talking about. I'll put this up because we were going to talk about this before you came on, but about the Savannah Guthrie and everything that was going on and what we were talking about last week about her husband Feldman working, to scrub the internet and all this other kind of stuff. Then it's coming out about the white van and everything. But here, I'll play this clip.
Savannah Guthrie's mother go missing shortly after the Epstein files were released. No one realized these 3 details reveal the real reason. Just yesterday, Savannah asked the kidnappers in a new video to provide proof that her mother was still alive. However, observant viewers noticed that her husband never appeared, which sparked online discussion. First, Savannah's husband, Michael Feldman, previously served in the Bill Clinton administration. In the newly released Jeffrey Epstein files, Clinton's name appears multiple times. One of Michael's key responsibilities at the time was handling and mitigating the negative fallout connected to Epstein. Second, the timing of the Epstein file release closely overlaps with Nancy's disappearance. Just days after the documents became public, Nancy was forcibly taken from her home. Blood was reportedly left at the scene, while her wallet and phone remained, pointing to a targeted planned abduction rather than a random crime. More importantly, Michael, Savannah's husband, has remained completely out of sight throughout the incident, and the attention surrounding Nancy's disappearance has even overshadowed the Epstein revelations, making it feel less like a coincidence and more like an attempt to divert attention. What do you think?
Isn't that amazing?
So you mentioned the white van. I've heard the white van mentioned a couple times. That the people are thinking there's a white van, but it's funny. My brother and I were talking over the weekend, and one thing that was very prominent in one national story that was very prominent in my area was, if you remember, the DC sniper.
Uh-huh.
Right? Remember the DC sniper?
Yep.
Well, the ironic thing why there was a tie to my area was there was a car dealership, a used car dealership that sold like real used cars. Like they were like, whatever. But they bought an old, I guess it was a Chevy Caprice or something. But in the beginning, people were talking about there was a van, if you remember correctly. But the reason why it was in my area was because the car they bought was from my area. And this is no lie. I don't know if anybody knows this, but the dealer they bought it from was a place called Sure Shot Motors. So think about that. The DC sniper, they bought their car from a place called Sure Shot Motors. But my point is, people talk like they thought there was a van involved and all this stuff, and then it never was. It was a car. So I hear about the van, but until you really have total confirmation of it, it may be something totally different. I don't know.
You know what? It's funny. The guy, the cop, the sheriff the one that's in charge. He was. They brought up that he was at a basketball game. Number one. Number two, I think they really screwed up the whole. For some reason, you can't mix up what they did on purpose of what they were missing. They didn't know if they took the medication. Then they found out they did take the medication. Then they said they didn't take the medication. Then eventually it took the car out of the garage that was in there. All these things that there's too many delayed points that were happening that's very suspicious about what are they trying to hide and why are they so slow with this whole stuff, which none of the new fake news media mentions about the husband. Remember when she said, when she went in front of the Congress and said, "Oh, what do you mean I erased my file like with a cloth and stuff like that?" Her husband.
That was when she answered. That was when she answered Ed.
Right. And also she said in front of Congress. She said the same thing.
Oh, did she say it in front of Congress?
Yeah, she said in
Congress.
What
difference does it make? I remember she said that in front of Congress.
She said that too. But the whole thing is that this is the guy that did the erasing, the husband.
He was the eraser.
Yeah, he was the eraser.
Yeah.
And that's what people don't.
Does anybody think like? And I don't know. I always feel bad. Not feel bad, but I always say like you shouldn't be calling people out or whatever, right? But the sister's husband, have you seen him? He looks shady.
He was. I think was he a pilot or something? He worked for the military. I think he was.
I don't know, but he looks shady. I'm wondering if there's something going to come back with him. I don't know. I just some of the pictures I see of him, he looks a little shady. I'm like,
I think my personal opinion, and it's kind of weird, but I really think this was a setup because of the Epstein files coming out, and it was a warning to somebody that's involved with the Epstein files. And the reason why the investigation is so screwy is so that they can screw it up so that it can't be solved.
Yeah, but they don't stop talking about it. That's what the mistake.
Yeah, because
it's channel every morning you wake up.
Maybe it's maybe it's just a distraction
from the Epstein
files, and also the shit that's happening in Minnesota. Well, now they're talking about it's up to $30 billion.
Oh my God.
Yeah, maybe it's all just for a distraction at the end of the day. Who knows? I mean, it's just
always a distraction.
But like what George said about how, Savannah Guthrie's a news person and she's reading off of a damn script. And then one of the lines is the same thing, basically word for word from Silence of the Lambs. Something is just not right with it. There's something really wrong with it. That's just my
opinion. I like my background.
And then I like that. It's Trump's background too. And then throwing the comment that Trump made Friday night on Air Force One, where he was kind of like said something to the effect of we're going to know very soon or very close or they're close to saying something or whatever it is. I don't know. So, and then we've had nothing all weekend. So I don't know.
He said on the Air Force One, he says we think we might have a suspect, or we think we're getting very close to the end of this whole investigation.
Yeah, something to that point. Yeah,
but it's amazing how all of a sudden, like they poured in the FBI. Somebody made a comment. He said they don't do this for missing kids. I mean,
yeah. That's the other point. She's not the only person that ever came up missing, and to devote all this much time on every freaking TV channel.
Yeah, there's something up with this. I mean, I think you got to find. What I think you got to find is the husband and the mother together. That's what I think, because the guy hasn't appeared at all. What's the
name? Is the mother? Oh, the mother and the husband, you mean Savannah Guthrie's husband, or are you talking about the sister's
Savannah
husband?
Guthrie's husband, yeah.
I think
you got to find the both of them together.
Well, they were looking in the septic tank. I seen that this morning on the news.
Night,
they were looking in the septic tank. Now, what in the hell? Somebody flushed something down the toilet?
The whole thing is, first they said
that's a shitty job.
The whole thing is the guy took the camera away. So did he take the camera away before he ran into the house, or after he ran into the house, or when he came out of the house kidnapping them? And the whole thing is now they said they found videos at a gas station where they asked the guy they interviewed one of the gas station places that the van stopped at, supposedly this white van that they're talking about. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff, but again, we're talking about this shit again. It's all on the news anyway. But I mean, we talked about this last week about all the shit that was together, putting everything together, and sure enough, they come out with this about the husband. A lot of people
you feel bad with giving all the attention it's getting because of, like you said, people go missing every day. Mm-hmm. I mean, parents, their kids get taken, somebody or whatever, and those people. If the person's name was Jane Smith, nobody'd be talking about it, including us, right? So
and don't forget, Super Bowl is the biggest trafficking.
Yes,
that happens. And that's why they did it in California, because they have all those tunnels there with the kids in there and all that stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of shit happening there. But anyway, we'll get off this subject and tackle another one. We'll see.
We're going to another subject.
Yeah,
I think that's enough of this shit.
You want to do New York, or do you want to do?
Do Tim. I think this is
before just one thing, because it may tie in because we mentioned Epstein. Have you seen this report over the weekend that in the Epstein files, the DOJ's report announced his death the day before he was actually dead? Did you see that?
Yep.
Maybe I find that.
Did you see? Was
that a mistake? Right? One, is it a mistake? Or two, did somebody know something was happening and publish something?
Don't forget, this is during the Biden administration too.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole theory on
Trump. That's when he died.
Yeah, but no, wasn't he? No, when he died,
he died during Trump. Trump was in office when he died.
Well,
yeah, Trump was in office when he died.
Well, you remember it came out that we talked about it last week about the post on 4chan about the one. It was an anonymous person said that there was shitty stuff going on at the jail with Epstein, and that the cameras went off, and there was a van there and everything, and everybody thought it was a conspiracy theory. And then now, when everything came out, the Epstein files. It was one of the prison guards that came forward and was the one that said it, and they gave his name and everything. So why would the prison guard make that stuff up? I still think Epstein's alive. I don't think he's dead.
You know what?
That picture,
you never know. You never
what about
know.
that photo they showed in Israel?
Yeah,
they showed a photo that looked like him in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And then something that in the photos about his. There's a whole thing.
The tattoo was missing on his arm, on the body. He had a tattoo, and on the body they took out no tattoo.
The autopsy you're talking about?
He had the same one like this. He had this one here. Like this
yeah,
one.
and it wasn't on him.
Are you talking about the autopsy?
Yeah. He didn't have the tattoo. And the other thing that makes me think he's still alive too is because you're not hearing a peep out of Ghislaine Maxwell after all these files came out. No reporter's gone to interview her. Nothing. Why is she absolutely quiet? It doesn't make sense.
TSM said the legal papers that release the 5-year-old is dated February 29th. So there is that. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, I just figured I'd throw that up because you've heard that being talked about this weekend, and I just thought that's kind of odd if there's a a date discrepancy in there.
All right, let's get back since you brought up the CIA tricks. The whole thing is
Uh-oh.
that don't
That's
forget,
why the videos
forget-
running slow.
all of them were used by the CIA, so they can have proof for people. Like videotapes of them, like Clinton and everything else, hold us over the head.
They control them. Yeah.
Yeah. So remember Schumer said that, about the CIA could, and it's not. Everybody thinks the CIA is based in the United States. I mean, the offices, but they're all over the world, and they got the entanglement and everything else.
George, here's some lemon water.
I love it. I mean, no, this is the COPD shit.
I know, but sometimes that lemon water helps.
Yeah.
Anyway, but
like what you're saying, though, the whole supposition with Epstein, though, is that he was setting people up. Now the whole thing is, was he an asset for the CIA on our side to set these people up, and then they took him out like as witness protection and protecting him in Israel for his testimony when all the shit goes down, or was he really a bad person and did all this shit? You don't really know. I don't think we're going to know, but I don't think he's dead. I really don't.
I think the Clintons were trying to protect themselves because they're the ones that are. So the whole thing is, what thing is suspicious now? The Clintons approve about going in front of the thing, but they want it televised, which before it was supposed to be behind closed doors, but now they want it televised. So they might be saying a lot of stuff that's going to incriminate a lot of these people in their thing. So, I mean, it's not only about the Epstein files, but I think a lot of the NGOs that happened. Like we got this other videotape we should play. It's 9:02. Hello, everybody. People that join us at 9 o'clock. How are you? Good morning.
TSM said they were talking about the little kid. What was his name? Liam, the kid with the blue hat. I guess that they were saying ICE kidnapped. Remember, the libs were saying ICE kidnapped. That's who she meant.
Yep.
Anyway,
but
Here you are, Bertrand.
This is a good one. This is excellent, I think.
How did terrorists exploit our foreign aid loopholes?
Well, we have a lot of our
Can
international.
you pull your mic up? I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
You have international NGOs and UN agencies actively lobby here in Washington, D.C. against vetting policies that would prevent it. I was the senior vetting officer at USAID, and what we did.
Did you say United Nations is doing this? The UN?
Sure, everybody who's getting money lobbies here.
That they're lobbying against us. I'm sorry, Mr. Roman.
There's actually someone who used to work for one of those lobbies, the largest NGO lobby, Interaction. One of our co-witnesses here worked for them from 2018 to 2023. USAID effectively self-funds its own external private lobby that then goes back to Congress and asks for more money for USAID.
So the taxpayers fund this lobbyist who's working against American interests.
Correct.
Possibly killing our allies and possibly Americans.
They bring together groups in Washington that overseas work with groups that kill Americans.
Yeah, I don't need a flow chart to show that. I appreciate it. Do you think USAID programs have been aligned with the national security interests of the U.S.?
No, they have not. They have actually helped China.
Mr. Roman?
No.
Okay. How do these programs compromise our national security, Mr. Premack?
They actually push China. They actually push much of the world towards China on the green energy agenda. They push ordinary people, billions of people towards China because of the resentment caused by our social reengineering.
Are we being lobbied by these pro-communist China groups currently?
Well, a lot of these countries don't even have to lobby because they get the money anyway, like South Africa.
Yeah, and in fact, these lobbyists have come to the House and have tried to kill legislation like H.R. 160, which was meant to increase transparency in USAID's funding of overseas organizations.
Is that a current piece of legislation?
That's from the last session.
And give me that number again.
H.R. 160.
And what does it do?
It was meant to give U.S. lawmakers the ability to have higher transparency in terror financing investigations aimed at scrutinizing extremist groups.
Mr. Premack?
We had a regulation before.
I mean, do you believe this? Do you believe this? How much this it doesn't stop. It's amazing. And let me tell you something. If you
Lots of
notice,
tentacles on that money.
well, if you notice that the what do they call that? The Kafa or the Hafa or whatever it is, the big kitty of the Democratic Party, their containers not that full like they used to be. They used to have
The coffers of money you're talking about.
the Democratic Party, right? 100 million, 150 million. Now they only have 38 million.
Well, it's
Go.
definitely they definitely got to dry it up. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's what the problem is. Go ahead, Trix.
This is pretty good. This just came out. I forgot to tell you I had this, but I'm going to read it because I don't. It's too big to put up on the screen, and the wording would be small. But there was this goes along with the NGOs, and remember how we're talking about the Fed being destroyed, and that Trump was doing all this stuff on purpose, and with the gold and silver manipulation and the prices and stuff. There was the Fair Tax Act of 2025. This one was introduced in January 3rd of 2025, and it's still there. It hasn't come up yet. But the bill replaces federal income, payroll, estate, and gift taxes with a federal sales tax beginning in 2027 and eliminates the Internal Revenue Service. The bill establishes a 23% tax inclusive federal sales tax use on taxable property and services to be administered primarily by each state. The federal sales tax is adjusted annually beginning in 2028. So that is the sum of the general revenue would be 14.91%, old age and survivors disability insurance rate, and hospital insurance rate. So it includes exemptions for property or services purchased for businesses. But registered and qualified families will receive a monthly sales tax rebate in the amount of the monthly federal poverty level, or twice such amount for married individuals, multiplied by the federal sales tax rate. Each family member must have a social security number and be a lawful resident of the United States. The federal sales tax would be allocated to general revenue, the Social Security Trust Fund, and Medicare Trust Fund. There's special allocation rules for application in 2027. So the bill eliminates appropriations for the Internal Revenue Service after 2029 and establishes the Excise Tax Bureau and a Sales Tax Bureau within the Department of the Treasury. And then the bill terminates the federal sales tax if the 16th Amendment to the Constitution, which is the federal income tax one, is not repealed within 7 years from the date this bill is enacted. So this is somewhere floating around over there. This actually proves what we were saying about the Treasury being eliminated, or the Federal Reserve being eliminated, and why Trump is going so hard on Jerome Powell and stuff too.
Don't forget, what's his name? Who's the guy from North Carolina that wants the DOJ's investigation to end into Powell? He won't vote for or new Fed chair until it ends. Which, what does one have to do with the other, right? You gotta wonder where his allegiance is to.
I just thought. I'm sorry.
I believe it is Tom Tillis, right?
I'm not sure which one it is.
Yeah, I think it's Tom Tillis, North Carolina.
Well, see, this way, if they did do this, though, the NGOs wouldn't be getting all this money, because it would be this no more IRS. So this would fall underneath the Treasury. So the Federal Reserve is where a lot of the flagging goes on for the transfers to the NGOs, and they weren't doing their job. Remember, even the Bidens had, 155 red flags on transfers, and they didn't do anything about it. So the NGOs wouldn't be able to steal all the money that they're getting and transferring overseas or anything if it went underneath the Department of the Treasury, because the Federal Reserve is a private entity and does what they want.
Yeah, they got to stop these NGOs. I mean, I've never heard of one NGO that I would say is, oh yeah, it's really doing a good job for the American public or for people, because it's all wrapped up into fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Red Ginger says Tillis is not running for re-election. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course he's not.
He kicked back with the Venezuela guy. He got a big piece of change from him too. I mean, all the stuff. There's a lot of evidence and all the stuff, and he's one of the ones that is always not voting for Trump with his agendas all the time, with the America First stuff. So,
Yeah.
Kill us. They're all. That's why term limits are very important. They can't have them in there. It's not going to stop. You know, they all get comfortable, and then they beg to get on these committees, and they drag these committees out so long, so because the money keeps on going and the payment that they're there. What's her name is still on the committees, Omar, and the whole thing is that, but she should be banned because of the amount of intelligence that she gives to uh, the money of the terrorist groups that were receiving the money from the Somalian, all the bullshit that they had there. That's up to $30 billion now.
Wow.
That's unreal. Can you imagine if we had that $30 billion?
Listen, if we stop funding everybody, every American in the United States don't have to work. All the billions we've been giving out. So the whole thing is that's why the UN is complaining. The UN should get the fuck out of New York and go someplace else. They should go to Uganda. That's where the UN should go, so they could be treated and fine. Instead of getting, you got to see the privileges they get in the in New York when they do it. They get diplomatic immunity, so they could grab a girl and rape her and get away with it with no problem. I mean, they could do a lot of stuff. And they get that all here in America. They get this all in New York. Protection, limos, all the stuff. We pay it all. They charge all the UN, and we're the ones that are scoffing the bill. Their country's not paying that. Then is that they go out and all the shit that they have. I saw it. I worked in it. I saw the shit that they were doing. They don't care. And they constantly vote against America all the time. And
they vote against the United States every chance they get.
Also Israel, same thing. You know?
Yep. Yeah, UN is they should get rid of it out of New York.
Yeah, we got 26 of the ones that sit there, 26 nations are Islam, Muslims.
Make that UN building veteran housing.
That's what we came out the last time. It was great. That's a great idea, I think.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I thought it was a good idea. Well, we're talking about New York and about the commies, socialists, and everything. You got to listen to This is Mondami, and everything that we ever talked about, he just proved himself to be.
The story of the Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was a stranger too, who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina. Surah An-Nahl 1642 tells us, "As for those who immigrated in the cause of Allah after being persecuted, we will surely bless them with a good home in this world." Or as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Islam began as something strange and will go back to being strange. So glad tidings to the strangers."
He protected all the illegals from ICE. He signed a bill, and this is the speech he used. He didn't reference America. He didn't reference anything. He was giving Quran verses and everything. So if you're in New York, you better freaking get out.
Yeah, no, this is the whole thing. I'm telling you, watch what happens. Watch what happens on 9/11. Let's see what happens with that one. We got to see what this jerk off decides to play with that one. Because I'll tell you one thing, that'll be his final straw. He has no idea the rude awakening that's going to happen for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have to say, because it's bullshit. And he'll do everything. I bet you he'll stop putting, when Scott Lobato's trying to get that flag put in there, at the Trade Center.
At Ground Zero.
I haven't been down there since 9/11, so I'm going to take a ride by there. I got to go up to New York. I got to take a ride by there and see if they have any flags around the whole perimeter, because he wants to put one big one, and the guy from one of the RV owners there I forgot his name, but he's going to pay the whole bill. It's $250,000 to put the pole and the flag up there, and he's going to pay for it.
Wow. It must be union help.
Yeah, well, no, it's they got whatever it is, it's going to go up there. That's all I can tell you. But I guarantee that he'll fight that, because it's got to go through the city. I think that falls on. I know they have a committee. They have a 9/11 committee and a board that anything that gets put on there, which is another fucking joke about these boards that they put up so they can stop what's supposed to be done, especially that holy ground that they call it that it is.
Yeah, well, they're talking about what in the chat they're saying too, that he's doing the same thing as Newsom. Yeah, any business that's leaving New York, he's trying to tax them and everything now too. And the whole thing about him doing the Quran and everything like that, I think it's wicked. I don't have any other word for it, because he shouldn't even be in office to begin with.
Put it in the face of the American people.
Yeah.
There you go. We are taking over, and here, let me stick it up your ass as high as I can, because you people are so stupid. Which, like I said, Osama bin Laden said it, that our own laws are going to destroy us because we are too nice of a people to let them do whatever the hell they want. And I'm one that ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen. Not with me around, I tell you right now. I'll fight these mother effers all I could with my last breath.
Well, they're saying he won by the amount of repeat votes too. You know how they, like, if a vote, the ballot is spoiled and they'll rerun it through the thing. So it was like 207,000, or I might have my numbers transposed, but it was either 270,000 or 207,000, and it was like almost the same number of repeat ballots. So I don't think he was really elected to begin with. I think it was a cheat that got him in there.
It was all the college kids that went out to vote, all the college kids that listened to that piece of shit screaming with that other guy about the Palestinian, all that stuff. They all went out and vote. The people that didn't bother to go out and vote, as usual, that's a great thing that we do all the time. And we don't. I got in a discussion with somebody over the weekend about that. In fact, when Pastor Jack was on, we discussed that about the evangelicals and gun owners too. Gun owners don't go out and vote either. With all the gun owners we have, there's a lot of gun owners that don't go out and vote.
Well, going back to what Tracy said about the don't think he was elected with, sounds like the voting was a little screwed up in New York. I mean, Rudy Giuliani said for years, you were down probably 50,000 plus votes going into the election because of all the fraudulent votes. I'm sure it's probably more than 50,000 today, right? So it's not surprising.
Yeah, look, a hope adult.
Is that a shame to say that? I mean, how horrible is that to have to say? That's not surprising.
Yeah.
Like it's just
Look at the rhinos in it. Look at what they're trying to stop, the SAFE Act. The SAFE Act about the voting. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And Schumer comes out and says it's the Jim Crow. Yeah, Jim Crow thing that you created, all you Democrats created in the South with the KKK, the Jim Crow, and you turned it around and putting it on Banner Republic. You're degrading every Black American that they're not smart enough to get an ID. That's what you're telling the Black people.
Which was the one that was it Raskin that said divorced women wouldn't be able to vote because they wouldn't have ID? Like we're not smart enough to go get a new driver's license.
They degrade people because they're insulting African Americans, they're insulting Hispanics Americans, everyone of color. They're insulting every one of them. Number one, a lot of them are afraid to register because for the simple reason is because they'll get taken away. With all the stuff that are here illegal and all the stuff and everything else. But the people that are here are smart enough to register. And that's what they're doing. They're showing that they're brainwashing these people that they not have the intelligence to go out and register to vote. That's what they're doing. And I know everybody says that. Most people don't know.
I just think some of the shit they're coming out with is just so ignorant. It's so ignorant.
The Republicans are the ones that helped them get the vote. Not the Democrats. They stopped it. And it's just unbelievable. But the Republicans are so good. And you got to give them credit. I mean, they turn shit around on us like you wouldn't believe. And the Republicans are just sitting there like, da. Instead of telling Schumer, go fuck yourself. And then that's it. End the conversation. Nobody challenges these people. Even at the hearings, all the hearings that they come out with all these questions, especially with the Secretary of Treasury. What is this shit got to do with January 6th, with what the Secretary of Treasury is talking about the economy of of America. What does that got to do with it? Every Democrat had a different line exactly to trash President Trump through the whole thing.
Oh, God bless you.
Thank you. Thank God for the mute button. I had a mute button.
I think we're all using it this morning.
Well, look at this. I mean, if you look at these committees and stuff, go back for a second. I was listening to some. I think it was Maria Bartiromo yesterday morning about this new not commerce, the PAL. What's PAL? Why can't I think what PAL is?
Oh, Secretary of he's the chairman of the Federal Reserve.
Chairman of the Fed, yeah, chairman of the Fed. With this new guy, right? When this new guy was voted on to be one of the governors, he had they said 100 votes for yes. Mm-hmm. Schumer was one of them. All that, right? So now, as him going for the Fed chair, I wonder if Schumer is going to vote for him again, or he's just going to say no because of Trump, or if he votes for him, maybe that's because they have a meeting in private and he tells them I'm not going to cower to what Trump wants, and maybe that's why he's going to vote for him. Who knows? But it's a shit show. Washington's a shit show, that's for sure.
No, because he has no help. You got everybody. You got all the Republicans in there. Instead of saying, I mean, they should grab Toon by his throat. I mean, the Republicans that are in that.
They should change his tune.
Yeah, that's right. Change his tune. Right? Put a thing around his neck and tighten it as much as they can, so he can stay in tune. But the guys, they're unbelievable. It just does not stop. You watch all these bills that they're coming up with, and how they trying to slide shit under everything, and they all vote for it. I mean, just watch just the whole thing. They do not protect anyone. The Democrats up there. All the Democrats will defend the guy that's in the chair there, whatever he's talking about. Fine. When somebody from Republicans in there, the Democrats prosecute him like they won't believe, and the Republicans don't say shit.
Well, like Universal just said, these hearings are a waste of time, and
it's money.
I agree. I agree. They're all they're not answering. They're not asking simple, like you said, George. They're asking about January 6th. What does that have to do with the Treasury Secretary right now in 2026?
Everyone even what do you call Christy Nome was in with the whole thing, and just like the video that we put up about us, about Trump and everything else, so this will jumping up and down. That photo was the one that Adam Schiff used when Kash Patel was being going through about becoming the director of the FBI. They used that photo because Laura Loomer was in it, other people were in it, and that's what they said. So and how much did Adam Schiff spend on Russia of our tax dollars prosecuting Trump with the Russia? $13 billion he spent of our tax dollars that they made him do. What's wrong? Am I boring you there? I see you got your hand on your face.
No, I'm
listening. You in a second. She was going to gong you.
Yeah.
No, you're not bored. I just was moving around. That's all.
Denise says it makes good for daytime TV, and that's about it. It's true. It does make for some good daytime TV, but it's like a bunch of kids arguing, right? Like, I mean, you watch Elizabeth Warren when she starts
Pocahontas.
Raising her, Pocahontas, and her eyes are bulging out of her head, and you hear the war drums going on behind her. It's they're like little kids how they act. They get so emotional and crazy. I
liked Besant though. I like the hearings with Besant because he's so smart and he's got that smirk on his face too. So when they would, do you want to apologize? What did they ask him about? It was a retort he made about, would you want to apologize, for Ashley Babbitt after they asked him about apologizing for something for January 6th, I think. But he's just a really, really smart guy.
Very smart. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the chairman at that time, remember they were talking about Christy Nome, that the chairman there that Johnson there turns around and says about the National Guard being shot. It was an unfortunate incident.
Oh,
unfortunate accident, I think he said.
Accident, yeah. Unfortunate accident.
That was a cold-blooded murder. Now you can go back and talk about the ICE shooting in Minneapolis. That to me was probably an unfortunate accident because I think the way that all unfolded, I think people, it just got a little crazy. But this guy in Washington D.C., there was nothing accidental about it. He went to go shoot, and kill, yeah.
And the whole thing is when the guy Bird shot Ashley Babbitt, he shot first and then said, "Shots fired." So he was trying to cover his ass about that. And what happened is nobody there, not one person had weapons on them. Nobody.
Yeah.
The January 6th. But they got prosecuted, and they're still getting prosecuted. So.
Yeah, but you don't. Did you see about Kelly getting his Hegseth going after him, and for sure to take half of his retirement pay or something, his military pay? They're degrading his rank and everything, and he's suing. He's suing.
So Hegseth's definitely going forward with that, then, right?
Oh, yeah, I got a clip for this. This is pretty good.
Good.
Also have some breaking news coming into the Situation Room right now. Senator Mark Kelly will have his military retirement pay cut by the Pentagon. The Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, made the announcement on social media just a little while ago. Kelly is a retired U.S. Navy captain. He's being punished for taking part in a video where he and other Democratic lawmakers told U.S. service members that it was their duty to refuse illegal orders. Hegseth also added in his post, he issued, and I'm quoting now, a formal letter of censure which outlines the totality of Captain Kelly's reckless misconduct. That's Hegseth's words. Pamela.
All right.
So he did it, and now Kelly's suing him for it.
Yeah, the whole 6 of them were told to do it. I mean, they were programmed, whatever the hell they were, and you'd be surprised who told them to do it. You know what I'm saying? It came all from the up above, and it's guaranteed Obama baby. So, but play this. You know how they all say, all them idiots get up on the effort. What, you want to say something? Sure, sorry. Good.
No, I was going to say, you know what? You're right. They were told to do it, but they're also told probably, don't worry about it. We got your back, or we got your 6, right? Because all the representation that they're going to need, the lawyers are going to need, the money. They're not. That's not coming out of their pocket.
Oh yeah, no, 100% right. I agree with you 100%. But you see, like these assholes that are like these movie stars and these singers and everybody else talking about us being on stolen land. It's amazing because they don't know about it. Play this tape there, if you don't mind.
And you say? Let's run the receipts. How America built its map through purchases, diplomacy, and wins against other powers. Straight facts. We started with the original 13 British colonies, 1 independence in the Revolutionary War. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 gave Britain's cession to the United States. Vermont joined as the 14th state in 1791, no cost. In 1803, the Louisiana Purchase. France sold us the whole territory for $15 million, doubled the size, got the Mississippi and New Orleans. Smart deal. Florida in 1819. Spain ceded East and West Florida via the Adams-Onis Treaty. We paid $5 million, mostly assumed debts. Clean handover. Texas in 1845. Already independent from Mexico since 1836. Joined the U.S. voluntarily. No money, just Congress said yes. Oregon Territory in 1846. Split peacefully with Britain at the 49th parallel. No war, just negotiation. We got the southern half. Mexican cession in 1848. After winning the Mexican-American War, Mexico gave up California, Nevada, Utah, most of Arizona and New Mexico, and parts of Colorado and Wyoming. We paid $15 million plus assumed $3.2 million in debts. Gadsden Purchase in 1853-54. Bought a southern Arizona-New Mexico strip from Mexico for $10 million, railroad route. Alaska in 1867. Purchased from Russia for $7.2 million. Turned out to be a massive bargain. Hawaii wasn't a purchase like many of the others. American sugar planters and businessmen, with help from U.S. diplomats and Marines, overthrew Queen Liliuokalani in 1893 and set up a republic. After the Spanish-American War made Hawaii's strategic ports crucial, President McKinley got Congress to annex it via joint resolution in 1898, became a territory in 1900, and the 50th state in 1959.
How was that? That's what's missing in this country, education, because people don't know what the hell they're doing. And they're talking about with the Indians. Indians killed each other, conquered, every tribe killed each other. I mean, that's how it was. I mean, those bring up about ancestry that they've been here since whatever and everything else. But how did they get here? They didn't come here. Were UFOs anything about Indians? I didn't see any teepees, teepee sources or not. I didn't see any. Flying saucers made out of teepee. I didn't see any of them come out.
Flying saucers made out of teepees?
Well, you figure how did the Indians get here? I mean, they're about
through the Bering Strait. If you get the Indians, their genealogy, if you look, a lot of them have your Asian DNA.
Yep.
So they had to have come from that.
When I did my DNA, I was hoping
the puzzle was together, probably.
Well, I was hoping that I was part with my DNA. I was hoping I was part black and part Indian.
George. That doesn't even matter anymore. You could just claim it. I mean,
you identify that way.
I mean, you do have high cheekbones.
How?
You know, like Senator Warren.
Oh, how? Yeah, that was the best one.
That was funny. That was a funny one.
And especially, she got her whole education paid because she claimed she was. It's unbelievable.
But seriously, does it really matter anymore? You could say you're a woman. You identify as a woman, and they got to say, okay. I mean, think about it.
A lot of the forms I put down human. They ask me if I'm white, Caucasian, whatever, but I just put human. I'm a human being.
Crazy.
I mean, I'm wrong.
We live in crazy times.
It didn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I keep on saying this. As the guy on the cruise told me, he feels like he's been sleeping for 20, 30 years and just woke up and said, what the fuck?
Yep.
Right? So he wasn't wrong.
I'm dreaming on a jet plane.
When we were talking about med beds, I came across this and I thought it was pretty interesting. I just want to put it up real quick. These are all the places where there's med beds and med bed therapy centers in the United States. So there's
Jersey's in the chat, or Chris now. He knows about this stuff.
Yeah. Look how many there is. That's of this month too. Isn't that crazy? So they're all over the place. Looks like a lot of them are more on the East Coast over there, but so the under construction and everything. So all this stuff is coming out, and so when they say it's not true, it is. Otherwise, they wouldn't even be building them. They would have no.
That's kind of like Star Wars. Remember the movie Star Wars? They would have be laying in a bed and things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was just going to say that.
All
the movies that they came out with, like the space, when you're going from planet to planet, and they're going to say you have to sleep for so many years, they put you in these things, these beds that they take the oxygen out and all that stuff and everything else and put you in hibernation.
Yeah.
Too bad, what do you call the hibernations of those, not geckos, iguanas that are falling out of the trees and hitting people.
Falling iguanas. Hey, is there truth in Florida? You can get money from the government for iguanas for turning them in.
Oh, I don't know that.
I thought they said that. I know, like the pythons and stuff like that. They'll give you money for, depending on how big the python is. But I thought I saw, because iguanas are an invasive species. They're not really from Florida, and now with them all kind of half hibernating, people are catching them and getting rid of them.
We are putting on that stock tank now.
Well,
George, you got to read, George. You can't just mumble.
I'm reading people's stuff here. I got to get.
I was answered that they were asking what a med bed is. A med bed it's like for homeostasis. So what it does is you could go in there and they treat you with light and with frequency for different diseases and stuff too.
My daughter's doing that.
So yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying she's doing it. She goes to these frequency places that they're doing to her with the problem that she has. because they can't give her a liver transplant because the blood has in her blood it's attacking the liver, and until they find out what's causing that, that's where the problem is. But I told her we can't tell that story. But anyway, they don't want to listen. So.
Yeah, but those med beds are the frequency or the light. Either one of them can change your DNA or the RNA inside your DNA, so that, let's say, if you had cancer, it would be able to eradicate the cancer cell and then replicate the good cells in you. So there's a lot.
That's why the pharmaceutical companies don't want them. Well, they're afraid. No, but they're afraid of AI. Because they could find the AI could come out with formulas and find out a lot of cure for a lot of stuff that's happening to people. Wow. And the whole thing is that with the vaccines that came out and stuff like that, all of a sudden there's a lot of cancers happening to a younger age, like in the 30s, late 30s and early 40s that are happening because of the what do they call that thing? You tell me. What's that thing called? But the cancer, what was that called?
What thing?
Oh, turbo cancer. The turbo cancer is because of the spike
tumors,
yeah, the spike protein. But the one thing too is that that isn't from turbo cancer from the shot, though, is a lot of younger people that are getting colon cancer, and that's because of the eating such highly processed foods. So that is a contributor to the young people getting colon cancer, because they're eating so much lunch meat and bacon and everything, and the nitrates and all that kind of stuff in there will really messes with your gut, and that's how you get colon cancer. But
a lot of people used to eat hot dogs. A lot of people used to eat hot dogs. I told you the story about the hot dogs, right? They couldn't understand why a lot of Jewish people, believe it or not, used to eat hot dogs and sauerkraut and mustard. And they found out because of that combination, when they tested their blood, that their nitrates were neutralized because of the sauerkraut and the mustard from eating the hot dogs.
No, you told me that. It was interesting. But that's why they tell you to drink kombucha. And that's a fermented drink. You can find it in the grocery store.
Kombucha.
I don't like it. Yeah, kombucha. It's a fermented drink, and it's anything that's fermented is really good for your gut microbes. So it'll keep your gut health really good. Because like glyphosate, that's why so many people have gluten allergies. Glyphosate is in the bread supply and in the grain and everything. And when glyphosate gets into your stomach, it actually makes a leaky gut. So the bad microbes from your stomach and your intestines get out into your body. And so the gluten allergy is really from glyphosate, which is the weed killer from Monsanto. That's giving you the itching and the breakouts and everything. It's not that you're allergic to the bread. You're reacting to the glyphosate that's getting into your system.
The problem is these parents of children should give them stuff like all of a sudden. I mean, everybody ate peanut butter like crazy, and all of a sudden now there are people, the kids are allergic to it. I mean, they don't.
Remember when they said there's an app for that? Well, for everything today, there's an allergy for that.
Yeah.
Right. Everything is allergies for everything.
Yeah, the peanut one came from vaccines. And so did the egg. Like they tell you, if you're allergic to eggs, you're not supposed to have the vaccine because they use part of that. Well, when you're given a baby with no immune system, all these shots when they're like between two months old and just born and everything, that's how all these allergies are created.
Yeah, but that's when they build their immune system when they're small.
Mm-hmm. That's why you're not supposed to do that stuff, and that's why you're supposed to breastfeed.
What are they up to 102 vaccines now that they put together with these cocktails and stuff? It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Eppolito said LED infrared therapy is a proven science.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What about?
Thank you, Chris. Somebody, so I'm not talking out of my ass.
What about what do you call?
You have a leaky gut, do you?
Incandescent lights. What about incandescent lights?
Oh, that's bad too. That's real bad.
What?
No, the incandescent.
No,
lights.
the LED. I'm sorry, the LED.
No, the
LED lights aren't good. The incandescent bulbs are the ones that are the good ones.
That's
why they don't run them.
They have that red factor. That's why they took it away from us.
Mm-hmm.
Red ginger factor.
Yep, that's it. Red ginger.
Yeah. I don't know. there's a lot of stuff that they on purpose like Monsanto with the glyphosate. They knew that shit was going to get in the food supply, and then they wonder why they get sued. That's why you see that. Your gut health is really important. That's all.
My BFF's hubby just started a clinic trial for blood cancer. He just went on retirement end of last year and got diagnosed at that time. That was Kelly.
Yeah, they were talking about the heart, all the heart problems now too after the jab. How many people are in their 30s and 40s now that are having problems, heart problems? Heart, what do you call it, congestive heart failure? And atrial fibrillation, and then a lot of POTS syndrome too, where if you stand up real fast and everything, you'll pass out. That's why you see people passing out. But
a lot of people are starting to get, because they're starting to get pacemakers.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people getting pacemakers because of that. I believe everybody I spoke to, I'm not assuming, just a fact that a lot of people I know that got the vax get pacemakers. It's like it's going out of style.
Really?
Yeah. I say people that I know, because they had to go to the VA, they had to get a shot. You had to get the shot for them to get in the VA, and then what happens? And now a lot of them, I know maybe about 10 people getting pacemakers put in. Well, I had them done. Like 7 of them had them done. There's a couple more going to get them done.
Yeah, and then that's Fauci. Like that was proved. They knew all that stuff was going to happen. That's why they, slid it in with an emergency use authorization. Otherwise, they couldn't have even done it because it was never even tested or peer reviewed or anything.
I guarantee Congress took, what do you call it? They didn't get this stuff, the vax. They got that.
No.
What's that clear stuff that they put?
Saline?
Yeah, saline. That's what they got. Joe Biden still didn't get his brain straightened, and he got well, how many shots? He got 6 shots.
Yeah, I wish they would have gave him a couple real ones. Then maybe we wouldn't have had Mr. Shitty Pants for so long.
Well, I don't.
See, the people are saying there's so many people that got ill after that jab. But if anybody that knew what was in it, you knew what was going to happen.
Even more so with the boosters, right? The boosters, people are getting worse from the boosters. So thank God.
I think his heart, his head thing's all screwed up with his health and stuff.
Who?
My son. With the heart, he had myocarditis.
Well, it killed my dad.
What?
They killed my dad. They wouldn't do my dad's knee. Wouldn't do his knee replacement unless he had the vax. And I told them don't do it because I knew what was in it. And I told him what was in it. And he said I can't take the pain anymore. Had the vaccine, and then within 9 weeks he was sick and he ended up dying.
It's amazing how they force people. It's just amazing how they force people to do it. Even to go eat in New York City, you had to have a vax card.
Mm-hmm.
How crazy was that?
Well, they were selling.
Yeah, well, now you're going to need your Muslim card in New York City with Mandami. I don't know. I think that's what there's going to be a lot of problems in New York City. I can't unsee it now. Once I see that clip of him quoting the Quran and everything like that, who in the hell does that? It's showing, like George says, it's showing that he conquered New York City. He's going to turn it into a Muslim Mecca because all the white people and Judeo-Christians and everything's going to move out.
That's right. That's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
It's the plan. Everything's a plan. We got plans. We got plans. That's what they do to us. They like the plan. They convinced us about the vaccine, and they took the vaccine, blah, 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 and all that stuff.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with, the stock market, right? If they move, or be interesting to see if some of these big corporations move out of New York City. Once that starts happening, it'll be a tidal wave of that, and that will really be the downfall of New York City because that's what's really probably keeping it afloat.
They got a backup exchange in Texas. I know that.
Yeah,
we did it. We helped do it with 9/11. After 9/11, we had all these backup places we put up.
Yeah, Marty Kin just said that, but all industry in New York City will move out to exactly. Once that starts happening, banking, all that kind of stuff.
They took over Brooklyn. They took all of the south of Brooklyn here.
But once
Bay
that starts
Ridge, Bay
happening,
Ridge. Now we
paying
call it Bay
jobs
Ridge.
over.
I can't wait. I'm gonna drive by there. Everything I'm gonna drive. I'm gonna scream out. I'm gonna have the break on my head with this. I'm gonna drive to Brooklyn.
You better be careful. You might get some of the Muslim men all excited.
I'll have stuff. I can't carry a gun in New York because I'll get taken away. But I'll have other stuff. I have goats.
What's next on the list? I see. There's a video going around. Elon Musk shared it this morning. Catherine Herridge has gone public with explosive allegations. CBS executives deliberately buried the Hunter Biden laptop story and ordered her to wait until after the 2022 midterms. Now, this is obviously the previous owners of CBS, but which we knew, another conspiracy theory that has
come true again.
And they always come down the road.
We should change our show from Wake Up Patriots to what is it?
Wake Up Conspiracies?
No, truth.
I mean, not every conspiracy theory comes to light. I'll be the first to say, but you know what? These things that we all knew about and we were really talking about.
Mm-hmm.
The most, what was a secure election, all that kind of bullshit. It was all bullshit.
Smoke and mirrors.
My hair's blending with Trump's. Look.
Remember that guy said that? The guy worked for the DNI office or whatever it was. That guy said it was the most secure election.
Yeah.
I remember arguing with libs. They would say, "Oh, it's the most secure election." Even a guy in the Trump administration said that.
And the DNI, Tulsi Gabbard went down there to talk about the one in Georgia and everything. Did you hear all these people talking about? Oh, I think I might get investigated. He's looking for Democrat help. I wonder who's going to help him. The congressman that was down in Fulton County, Georgia, that represents that district. I mean, the proof. Remember the movie? What do you call it? The 2000
Mules.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a good movie.
They pinged all the chat. You thought I went to the movie. I said, here it is. Here's all the proof, and everybody's going like, and that was it. But like you said, Sean, at the time, it was the greatest thing that happened with Trump, the loss, because what he did, he planned, and he actually planned. I'm saying after the election, we went down to Mar-a-Lago. The Mar-a-Lago was packed with cars in February, packed, and there were generals in there and everything else. I mean, the planning started going then. And Trump said if he didn't get the amount that, remember we put up that
he knew you won the election.
Yeah. He said no, but he said if he didn't get that many votes, he wouldn't know what he called.
But you know what you just said about the 2,000 Mules, right? Do you remember how they were like? And the big thing of 2,000 Mules was cell phone triangulation, right? That they knew where people were.
Yeah, right.
Now the FBI uses that to solve crimes, right? They're trying to use that right now with with this Guthrie this out in Arizona, right? Mm-hmm. But when it came to 2,000 Mules, oh no, that really doesn't that's really not effective, right? They're so the left is so crazy on how they are with this shit. Mm-hmm. But I learned one thing: if you ever do a crime, leave your cell phone home, right?
Or buy a burner so that you can still stay in touch with your conspiracy.
That's the other thing. That's they're looking for. These people are looking for burners because they're doing these overlays of cell phones that are coming in and out of the area.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's burner phones, they could actually trace where that burner phone was sold at, and then go back to the store and get the actual video footage of somebody purchasing that phone.
Thank you for that tip. So if I want to set somebody up, I know how to do it now. So I can go buy a burner phone and plan it on them.
Yeah, there you go. If you do any crime, just do it with the old soup can and string attached to it. Don't do a cell phone.
Yeah. People are, I don't know. I still think the Democrats, I don't understand them, and I don't want to understand them, because if I did, I'd be as crazy as them. That's how I justify it. Well, it's just like a murder. And you always say, how could somebody do like that? How could you do that? Or why would they do that? If you think about it, you don't want to know, because then you'd be just as psychopathic. Like, what was the cannibal guy? Remember him? That was killing up. Huh?
The movie Hannibal Lecter, or are you talking
No,
about?
no, the guy that was eating all the guy that was Dahmer, him. Like, you don't want to know what he was thinking in his head. You really don't, because then he'd be just as weird as him. I mean, I don't want to put a head in my freezer or anything.
Yeah, that kind of ruins the ice cream.
Yeah.
Freezer, some guy looking at you.
Yeah, I don't know. That one kid was lucky though. Remember they said the one guy that got escaped.
Yeah.
Bombers. That was a real sick thing. Real sick.
Yeah.
Even his father said he didn't know what was wrong with him, but that he was killing animals when he was little and all that.
Is he still alive, Dahmer? Is he alive?
No, they killed him in prison.
That's right. They killed him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a weird dude.
What you got there, George?
I just put that up. Remember when we did this one? Look, there we are. He's ready. I'm face of the Democratic Party. I work for welfare, Hamas, terrorism. That's what he's doing, little by little. Right? And this week, we put this up a long time ago when he just got elected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this guy was nice.
Jamie didn't pull the pin.
He was in the pictures with Epstein and stuff, wasn't he?
Well, they said that now people I seen the pictures too, and I've seen some saying that it's AI generated and some saying it's real, but some of them were right out of the Epstein files, so I really don't know.
Apparently the mom, I think those pictures with the mom or whatever are definitely I think the mom knew somebody or whatever, knew Epstein or what have you, but
yeah, but all these people know what the thing that amazes me is that these all like Omar, Tlaib, Obama, they were all nurtured. They were all nurtured to get in these spots to destroy America. AOC, bar owner, apartheid. Look how everybody was nurtured to take in certain positions to take this country down.
Well, AOC answered an ad, didn't she? And like almost like a Craigslist ad or something. And
yeah, it was the setup. They hired her off of that.
Yeah.
It was a tryout. I remember seeing all that kind of stuff. I mean, you can't tell me that they don't come and pick people. I mean, people get picked to run. A lot of people are. Yeah,
absolutely, they are. Yeah. The only one that wasn't picked to run because they didn't want him was Trump.
Yeah.
They didn't want Trump. They did everything they can not to pick him.
I tell you, the best thing that happened was the one that they turned around and says about about how they're gonna plan to destroy this country many years ago, about exactly how they're gonna plant people here to do it.
Mm-hmm.
If the founding fathers, I mean that there's TikTok with the sons of Tom Paine, and it's amazing that the history that we don't realize and how much the sacrifices that they all made. I mean, they lost their houses, and don't forget, everybody thinks I go through this all the time, that it was 13 colonies that were America, well, under the British thumb, the colonials, 13 colonies, and then what happened? The 13 colonies that came upon, that's why that word 3% came out. It was only 3% of the 13 colonies that fought against the British. It wasn't everybody, because you had all the guys that were making money off of the
they were scared to death.
Yeah.
They were scared to lose their livelihood.
And even the Civil War that we had here, the Civil War, it was all about industry. And then they brought the slavery part in it.
Because they didn't want to pick their own cotton.
Yeah.
I don't know. We were just talking in the chat, about bodies and everything. they were saying, I was saying, the pigs can eat a body in 30 minutes and everything, but then they were talking about the Pine Barrens in New Jersey, and I said, isn't that where the Sopranos used to take all their bodies on that show? Was the Pine?
Yeah, Pine Barrens. Yeah.
No, I like the one with what do you call it? What's about what was that show with take them? I'm trying to think of the name. I got a brain fart again. I got to take them brain pills. What's the one with the show that was on?
Shake you upside down. That's what.
Was it with Montana and everything?
Yellowstone.
Yeah, Yellowstone. What do you say? We're taking them to the what?
Train station.
Train station. That's it.
And they were even throwing them off the cliff. Are you frozen like that, Sean?
That's a good post, Sean.
I was frozen.
Looks like you were holding up a sign.
When little George gets a brain fart, I get him. I shake him like this.
You got to do that.
I turn him upside down. I shake him,
Yeah.
and then he's okay. Then he's back to normal again.
Mm.
You know.
You know what it is? It's too much information in my brain to process. That's what it is.
You're getting.
Yeah, I got to put another. I got to get a thing and have an adapter put in the back of my and then download.
You need Neuralink.
You know what it is? It's bean dip. Bean dip makes you get brain farts.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And farts. Brings farts out of your brain and out of your ass.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's funny. That little George. I love that puppet. We should. If it would have been easier to make one of me and you, but I don't know if we can find one. That one just happened to be customizable, pretty easy.
Talk about the Constitution for a second. Jersey just put a comment in there. As smart as the framers were, it's crazy they didn't see the downside of no term limits in Congress.
That's right.
Career politicians are responsible for many ills of our nation, which is 100% true.
Right, Chris.
Yeah, that's a good point. But having said that, there was no career politicians to date because they all would do something and go back to it. So maybe they just assumed that's how everybody was. Right?
The reason why the term limits came up by the president is because George Washington didn't want to serve again. So that's how that happened.
Yeah, and he didn't want to be king either.
Yeah, he didn't want to be king, but he didn't want to.
No king's protest.
He did 2 terms, and that was it. He said there's no reason why a president should serve another term. But they didn't say nothing about Congress and the Senate.
No.
You know?
Well, see, Indiana, they only do. They have a real short session in our state for the politicians.
You're talking about the state.
Mm-hmm.
Like
state.
Governor and Florida only got to do 2 terms. That's it. It's done. Like the same thing with the president. What do you call Virginia? Only could do 1 term.
Well, see, I thought a lot of it went back, because to their farms. That's what I thought too. So many of them were farmers.
Their farms,
Virginia got that Democratic rag there. She's destroying everything in Virginia. All the taxes they're hitting with. Jersey's electricity is going to go up. That's another one. Talk
about electric.
Let's go, Tracy. Let's talk about your electricity.
Yeah, NIPSCO, which is owned by NiSource, which is owned by BlackRock. You know how they pushed all the green energy. Well, people's bills here are doubling and tripling, and they're doing it through delivery charges. So they went to the utility regulator to get a raise, and they could only raise it so much. So what they did is they turned around and built all the fees to pay for the data centers and all the building and everything in delivery charges. So some people's gas bills are more than their mortgage now, and they own gas and electric, and they got a monopoly in all of Northwest Indiana. And when you look at the map of where all these data centers are planned, what I thought, and people that I posted it in the group of thing and everything too. And I said, if you look at the map and where the water sources are, it looks like they're doing this on purpose, besides making you pay for it, to take eminent domain and get your property at a lower value and turn it all into all data center land. But they went through, and because they couldn't only go so far, with the utility regulation on the raise, they put it into delivery charges. So you might have only used like $80 in gas, but you got like a $200 delivery charge. And they're shutting people's their electric and gas off if you go one day past not, past, like when they give you the shut off notice, they'll shut you off right that day from the office. And there's people that are actually that work at NIPSCO that are quitting now and walking out because they can't take all the phone calls of people calling and bitching about it and stuff. And now they're under investigation for what they're doing. But they went ahead, and that's what they were doing, is they're putting on the backs of all the customers, all these data centers that they're building, and they're doing it through the delivery.
That was the best one with Con Edison. The first time Con Edison, when I was up in New York, everything was fine. Then all of a sudden they came out, I look at the bills, delivery charge. I said, wait, let's see, you're delivering electric. Let me see. Okay, you're delivering electric to the lines that there's power going through them already. And then you pay me from the pole to my house. You're charging a delivery charge. I mean, who's carrying the electric? The delivery what? What do they deliver? The power's there already.
Yep.
And they argue with me. They said, well, delivery is delivery, and that's how they got away with raising the electric rates in New York because of that. That's how they get away with it. They don't raise the rates, but they raise the delivery charge. Now the whole thing is they started delivery charge with everybody 16 years ago. There was never a charge for delivery charge.
No, it's supposed to cut. What they're supposed to do is, if there was those charges, was for infrastructure maintenance, not to put everything whim that they want to build and everything in the delivery charge and put it on the back of customers. It's not right. And see, that's what NIPSCO did. Is for years they didn't upgrade any. So the pipes are all still here. You don't see them digging up the gas pipes and replacing them or nothing. But this is what this money is all supposedly for. But now they're under investigation.
Angel's getting a new hip replacement tomorrow.
Who is?
Angel.
Oh, Sharp. Yeah.
Well, I don't know her name. I just know it's in there. She said she's getting a new hip replacement tomorrow at this time. And let's all keep her in our prayers.
Good luck tomorrow with that, and we'll keep you in our prayers. Absolutely.
Yeah. Good luck, Sharp.
Yep.
I know she's in a lot of pain.
Lupek, my neighbor's 82. Social Security check is $1,240, and the light bill is $790. Tell them to be illegal because they get all the money paid, so it doesn't matter. It's unbelievable how they get free electric, free rent, and everything else. And then a person like this one here on that check, 82 years old, he can't get an EBT card.
Yeah, look at you saw the reel I did over the weekend. There was a lady that she's real sick and she can't even afford her heat, and she's bundled all up with all this shit. And I made a reel of it. She's got her thermostat. Even if you turn your thermostat down to 60, they're still socking you with the delivery charge. So there's no way. So what's the point? You can try to conserve energy and freeze in your own home. I mean, it's just bullshit. People are getting charged even when they shut their furnace off. They're getting the delivery charge, and there's no rhyme, no reason to it, too. So the more it's just when the delivery charge is 2 or 3 times your gas usage, and then it goes over almost the price of your. There's people that actually said that it's over the price of their mortgage. One lady in the group I'm in put up her electric bill. It was $3,700 for 2 months.
Oh my God.
And everybody's like, are you heating with electric? She's like, no. Well, because all these new meters that run on the Wi-Fi, they're faulty. There's something wrong, and they knew it. And they said it's a significant number of them. I still have an old meter. I don't have the new Wi-Fi one yet. But if you try to opt out of the Wi-Fi one, then they charge you an extra. I think it was
1003. Just say it to him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we should probably raid Mike Schwartz. Huh?
Well, first, let's go out with a bang.
Well, everybody.
We've got to keep Angel in our prayers.
Angels, yep.
Tomorrow.
Good luck tomorrow. And
good luck to FL Trump on his great-grandchild, Q Kid. And let's see what else. We should have somebody come in with reports about what's going on, like in the chat, who's having events and stuff like that.
Like a chat reporter.
Yeah, just to let us know about, like, say if somebody needs prayers and stuff like that.
Okay, who's the nosy Rosie in chat that wants to do that?
Yeah, nosy Rosie, I like that.
Nosy Rosie.
Yeah, we need a chat. Yeah, we need a chat
observer,
aficionado.
Yeah,
of the chat. That's what we need.
I know I call myself Nosy Rosie because I watch the guys across the street.
If we don't read the chat, we don't know that people need, prayers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Z-Red, the smart meters tripled. I know, it's crazy. Well, we'll raid Mike, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Mike Schwartz does a good job at that. We can just bring him on every morning as the chat moderator. Or whatever that word would be. The Nosy Rosie.
Yeah, I know I call myself Nosy
Chat
Rosie.
secretary. There you go. Chris Apolito said chat secretary. That's a good one.
Yeah, chat secretary. Who wants to volunteer?
Who wants to
update everything? Yeah, just update us on when you're reading the chat. If you notice anything about about what, if anybody needs prayers or if they're having surgery or they need help with something, we'll see if we can help them. So.
Yeah, because prayer chains work. I believe in that.
Yeah,
I do. Gladys Kravitz, Gladys Kravitz. I like that one. I remember that from Bewitched, the nosy neighbor.
Yeah.
Remember her? She was always peeking in the windows and everything.
The only thing I remember about Bewitched is this.
Mm.
The nose. Yeah, that was it. And was the guy Major, right? Was it Major?
Oh, that was I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, wrong show. Yeah.
Yeah, Bewitched did the nose, and I Dream of Jeannie did the.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm old. I remember those shows.
Yeah.
Well, let's go down with a burner. How about that?
All right.
Ready?
Yes.
Till the whole damn room learns what I said. Protect what's mine. That's a blood-borne vow. Say a word wrong, you'll find out.